I don't know about you, but I love being edited. It feels to me like someone, it's the greatest gift that someone has given the attention to my words. And a good editor, I don't know that I'd love being edited by a bad editor, but with a good editor, it's a sort of thrill that there is someone paying attention to whether it should be a comma or a colon or a dash in my work, or some very fine, sort of fine decision about speech marks inside speech marks, or no speech marks, or whatever. Or a subtle verb change, or anything really. It seems absolutely a gift, the greatest gift, that someone could come in there, into my world, into my work, into the intimacy of my space, where in my study I've been juggling with these things. And like someone else might love for someone to share a holiday experience. Oh, you've been to that place in France, or so forth, as well, sort of thing, as well as I have. Oh, I know that, I know that, I know that. Oh, that church in that square. For me, the pleasure of having someone dive into that space and attend to it, with their own brain and their own ideas, can be one of the greatest gifts. But this isn't always the case. The world of writers, I think, is divided into those who do like being edited, and those who hate and detest it and want to be queens and kings of their own worlds entirely. And with one's friends, I've learnt over time that you have to be very, very, very careful about which is which. Because there are some friends, I don't know if you've had this experience, but I certainly have, who say, you can't be a writer without it happening, that your friends will say, oh, I've written something, I'd love to get your views on it. And then perhaps you do read it with great attention. I don't know if you've had this experience. With great attention, give it your very best consideration, and you say all the good things, what you like, what's working, and then you just think you might suggest something that isn't working or could be improved, and blow me down. That's the end of a relationship. Because there are people, I suppose, too fragile or too... I just don't want to place them only as fragile, but there are people who really want approval. That's what they need, encouragement to go on, and for whatever reason are going to work it out their way. So my experience is we have to be very, very careful which is which before we start to offer any suggestions. Yes. Only this week I went to a play in London by a friend of mine, a relatively recent friend, and at a little theatre, and I loved it, loved the play. I won't mention it by name. She was telling me that the reviews had been mixed, some good, one upsettingly not so good, and the audience had been mixed in their response, because the first half didn't quite signpost the second half, and for some people the second half was thrilling and opening and brought more to the play, but for some people it was a turn that they weren't prepared for. And on the way home, in the train and at night, I began to think about the tiniest jigglings she would need. Perhaps a little bit of adaptation in the wording, but almost not, almost maybe in the direction that would enable people to suspect, signpost as we say, um, a signpost for the kind of what was going to evolve, and then it would seem, and it would take so little, and I was so excited about it, that the two halves were more whole. Should I let her know? My brilliant idea? Should I? Well, I didn't, folks, and I think that was the wisest. Have a good writing day.